I don't want to see Microsoft suffer because their idea was so good that the other game, on other services, the sales are declining. I don't want to see them penalized for that. What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. No video yesterday just because the setup said no, so I thought I'd enjoy that time with the family. Got on some God of War Ragnarok, beat the game. I'm just tying up the loose ends. But today we're going to be talking about Xbox Game Pass and the cannibalization of buy-to-play games. So it looks like with the games being added to Game Pass, the sales for other services goes down. But let's get into the article real quick, and then we'll talk after. Adding titles to Game Pass severely cannibalizes buy-to-play sales. And this is by Ellie Gold. And when I first read through this, I was thinking in my mind Ellie Goulding, and her music, it really takes me back. But anyway, and this is coming from Tech Radar. The UK Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, is currently investigating Microsoft on its acquisition of Activision Blizzard. This inquiry has brought to light some interesting details about Xbox Game Pass and its viability. And what's really funny about all of this, through no fault of their own, right? Game Pass is a kick-ass service, and this, the unfortunate side effect of that is it's not selling by an unknown amount, percentage, whatever, on other whether you buy it from the store, buy it online, or whatever, is not selling as well. But we also found out through this acquisition that Sony charges developers for cross-platform play. So in my opinion, Xbox is still coming out smelling like daisies. Game Pass is Xbox's subscription service that lets subscribers play a wide variety of games for only $10 per month. That was a tongue twister. While the debate as to which gaming service is better, Game Pass or PS Plus, rages on, it's safe to say that Xbox's system is nothing to turn your nose up at. With over 100 games available for a small monthly fee, more than 25 million players take advantage of Game Pass, whether it be on Xbox Series X, S, or Xbox One. However, this popular service may be great for players, but less suitable for business. I mean, it's good for Microsoft. Microsoft also submitted that its internal analysis shows a redacted % decline in base game sales 12 months following their addition on Game Pass, the CMA said in its report. Elsewhere, in the same report, the CMA includes information about the shortcomings of a multi-game subscription service. Game Pass severely cannibalizes buy-to-play sales, particularly in the case of newer releases, the CMA said. Now we move on to positive thinking. This report by the CMA contrasts previous comments made by the CEO of Xbox Game Studio, Phil Spencer. Back in 2018, Phil Spencer said that putting games on Game Pass actually boosted sales in an interview with LevelUp.com. Spencer equated Game Pass to free publicity, concluding that if people play a title on Game Pass, word of mouth will circulate and players will be more likely to buy it for themselves if they don't subscribe to Xbox's service. Some people have questioned that, Spencer said. But when the State of Decay 2 launched, if you looked at the US, you saw this game selling really well the month it launched on Game Pass. I was still stuck on word of mouth for some reason. So what's the truth? While the statement by Spencer contradicts information released by the CMA, he isn't necessarily wrong. For older games, Game Pass is a great utility that keeps titles alive and well. While people may not spend money on older games, they may still play them if it's free on Xbox Game Pass. And just to kind of within that same vein, since it's become a digital landscape for games included in that, there's a real concern whether or not you'll be able to play these games in the future. Like, let's say Game Pass goes down, do you lose all the games that you were playing on there? And that's a real concern. So I'm a big proponent of being able to buy a game and not having to leave your couch. I'm a big proponent of that. I mean, so far as I got a PS5, the digital version. I didn't even get the one where you can actually put physical discs in. So I don't know. It could go either way. But anyway, where we leave off. Yes, most important of all, Game Pass provides a valuable and cost-efficient service for fans. Spencer even said on the Kind of Funny Gamecast podcast that being able to see how popular old games are is a direct incentive to greenlight reboots, which is fantastic. I'm still waiting on them to, announce whether they're going to reboot Metal Gear. We sit back as a creative organization and watch what people are interested in. It gives us more data to think about things that we might pick up and take forward, Spencer said. It may be true that new buy-to-play games could suffer thanks to the readily available and cheaper option that Game Pass provides. That said, Game Pass also serves as a means of preserving and reviving older games. In doing so, it provides useful data, allowing developers to draw inspiration for reboots. Most important of all, Game Pass provides a valuable and cost-efficient service for fans. And that's the biggest thing, right? The customers. Exactly how the possibility of cannibalism will affect Game Pass going forward, however, remains to be seen. As far as Game Pass and the cannibalization of, buy to play games, I don't want to see Microsoft suffer because their idea was so good that the other game, on other services, the sales are declining. I don't want to see them penalized for that, but I mean, something has to be done. I mean, if this keeps going on, does that mean that it's going to turn into a monopoly? If so, then we might have a problem. YouTube, for example, it's huge. It's a huge company, and the barrier to entry is kind of high. All the alternatives, they're not taking customers away from YouTube. That's just not happening. But does that mean that YouTube is too big to fail? Does that mean that they're allowed to operate as a monopoly? That's where the question gets murky. Now, it's not a true monopoly, obviously, because there are a bunch of alternatives popping up, and they're doing okay. They're not, blowing anything out of the water, but they're doing pretty good. So, I don't know. That's a good question. So I'll leave it to you guys in the comments. But that's all I've got for you today. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video or found it informative. And don't forget to share it out. There should be another video popping up. In the meantime, keep it casual. Peace.